When analyzing a candlestick chart, an investor can be a little bit more alert to the fact there might be some profit taking about to occur, as we can see in the Dow that gapped up in the overbought condition after a steady uptrend. That's usually an indication to start watching for some profit taking. However, the other indexes, the NASDAQ did a best friend signal, gap up through the T-line. The S&P 500 also gapped up as a best friend signal today. And the transportation index doing a little J-hook pattern. So those three indexes, not anywhere near the overbought area, have been showing strength. So the overall assessment is you might see some profit taking in the Dow type stocks. The smaller stocks are still acting fairly strong. And when we know that the overall market trend hasn't reversed, there isn't any major change of investor sentiment, we can take advantage of strong charts. Notice that VRX we recommended today on a positive open because that would have given us a bullish flutter kicker signal. Remember, the kicker signal is the strongest of all the candlestick signals, as we saw over here where it opened here and closed here, then gapped up and went the opposite direction. Now we have what we call a bullish flutter kicker, which is a dark candle followed by a gap up above the previous day's open, but does an indecisive day like a doji. And then it gaps up again, and we know the simple rule of a doji day, that they're usually going to move the price in the direction of how they open. So if we know this is going to be a positive candle after a negative candle here and the little flutter here, if you took out this little flutter, you basically have a kicker signal, which illustrates that wave 3 might now be in progress, making your next target the 200-day moving average. Being able to analyze what usually happens in investor sentiment, creating these patterns time after time, allows the investor to take advantage of getting into a position immediately before everybody else starts piling in. You can also expand that analysis into ETFs, which tells you that sector can be traded or the ETF alone can be traded, such as in Labu that did a hammer type signal gap up through this resistance level. That's telling us there's a new dynamic that you could either trade Labu by itself or any one of, or start scanning in that sector to see which ones are acting the strongest. The benefit of knowing what should occur after a candlestick signal and when it breaks out through a resistance level allows investors to now participate in a new trend or basically a new change of investor sentiment. That'll be it. We'll see you in the chat rooms.